Yo, 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 what is up, guys? It is Sean back here again, bringing you another video. I know it's been a while, but today's video is, Nagato versus Obito. I know it says Toby on the screen, but just, I mean Obito at this point. So, right before he got the Rinnegan, and he's gonna be up against Nagato when he had his entire body and, wasn't just like restricted and wasn't crippled. So I think this is gonna be an interesting battle. And I'm looking forward to see who will come out victorious. Now Nagato is from the Uzumaki clan, so that that naturally means that he's been blessed with um good natural life force and very big chakra reserves, which also means that he's able to use all sorts of jutsu to his disposal. Even besides the obvious dojutsu that we're gonna get into in a second, he has very good sensory skills. Um, He's so good at it, in fact, that he's able to keep watch of all the people in his village by using rainfall. During his time in the old Akatsuki before he became taken over with S-rank criminals, he was able to connect all the former members so they would be able to hold discussions um, from different parts of the world without having to be in the same place. So he's very good at sensory, is just basically what you need to know. Now, for the real meat of Obito's abilities, the obvious big elephant in the room here, the Renegon. Now, you kind of now we already basically know what the Renegon does, but just in case you don't, which I don't know how you'd be watching this video if you didn't, the Renegon is able to let him summon animals, rip the souls out of people's bodies, revive others, uh, um, it can also summon the King of Hell, absorb all ninjutsu, and last but not least, um, attract and pull forces. So those are the abilities of the Rinnegan. Now, um, one of probably the most devastating techniques that Pain has ever unleashed was Planetary Devastation. It was which is basically just when he pushes the uses his Rinnegan ability to repel. Now he can use this ability for with as much force as he wants, but there will be a window of time in which he has to wait until he can use it again, and that depends on just much of a how big the planetary devastation is. Now, for the animals, he can when he summons animals, they will be continuously uh alive. Even if you kill them, they will just split up and make two new animals, and the only way to get rid of them is by killing the summoner, aka Nagato. Uh, and as already said, the Renegon lets him uh, be immune to all ninjutsu. So you have to basically use Sage Jutsu and Taijutsu as the only ways to really get anywhere in terms of giving him damage. Um, he can, but you also have to be careful because, like I said, he can rip your soul out. Which obviously, if he rips your soul out, you will die. You can also summon the King of Hell, which is more used for interrogation than battle tactics, but that can also kill you as well. Uh, and he can with his attract and repelling attack that because I know I've been really emphasizing on this. He can create a black hole in which literally rips up part of the earth, that whatever part of the landscape that he's in, and he can use it to trap you there and kind of just destroy you with it. How his attraction and repulsion abilities are so great that he was able to pretty much level all of the Hidden Leaf Village by by doing so. Now, with all that said, he does have weaknesses as well. He's not the most intelligent of fighters. Now, not saying he's a novice or anything like Kaguya, but if you can tell that fighting isn't his main skill per se, and you can see that in the fact that he tends to kind of rush his decisions a bit, but it's kind of helped by the fact that the Renegon is so strong that it doesn't really matter. But it's just something to keep a note of. Uh, and it was just something I felt like bringing up, just to really, which kind of is a testament to just how strong the Renegon is. He can also, I know I forgot to mention this earlier, but he can turn himself into um, weapons that he can also use as projectiles. So he kind of has an attack for he has an attack for every situation, whether it be long distance, short distance, or close mid distance, sorry, or close to hand combat. I did not say that right. Hand to hand combat. Uh, so yeah, that is basically the abilities of Nagato in a nutshell. I know I could probably talk about how he has Yin and Yang release and has mastery over all five chakra natures, which are true, but he doesn't really use that as often. So I wouldn't feel the need to bring it up because most likely he wouldn't use it in the fight. But with that all being said, he is a very, very strong ninja to take, and you have to be very cautious when finding out ways to. Now with Obito, he is an Uchiha that was taught by Madara, so he's going to be very strong, obviously. Now, so the big thing about Obito is his Mangekyo Sharingan, and he has a lot of abilities to really get through here. So starting off, he, all just like Nagato, can you utilize all five basic nature transformations and Yin and Yang release, but he has a natural aptitude for fire release. So obviously one of his abilities is the Uchiha trademark Fireball Jutsu. Uh, but he can also perform all the other nature transformations. Uh, Now remember he has a white Zetsu as half of his body, which kind of blesses him with incredible and immense chakra reserves, which allows him to perform multiple high level techniques that would otherwise incapacitate other shinobi due to his level of um, chakra. Now, to get onto the abilities, now he's decent in taijutsu, and shuriken jutsu, but his main way of offense is by far definitely going to be the Sharingan. Now, with his Sharingan, he has the ability to, he has the ability of normal Sharingan, so he can copy techniques, he can look at put on people under genjutsus to control them and for interrogation. He also has numbers of Sharingans, uh, spare Sharingans, but that's obviously beside the point. Now, for his Mangekyo Sharingan ability, he has the ability to trans teleport himself into a dimension using Kamui. Kamui's ability that allows you to teleport yourself and other people into a certain pocket dimension. Now, because he only has one eye, he's only allowed to teleport himself, but he also has been seen teleporting others as well. Uh, the thing about uh, Kamui is he usually uses it to teleport part of himself, so it makes it seem as though he is intangible, but he's really not. Uh, but the thing about Kamui is that he's only allowed to use it for about 5 minutes before he runs out of chakra. Now, one last thing we need to talk about is his ability to use um the Izanagi. Now, Izanagi is basically an attack or a Sharingan ability that allows the user to manipulate reality for for an instant. Now, because of Zetsu's influence on his body, he's allowed to use Izanagi for upwards of 10 minutes. You know what you can get in 10 you know what you can do in 10 minutes? You can do a lot in 10 minutes. You could wank in 10 minutes. You could pay your taxes in 10 minutes. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't know that. But the point of the matter is 10 minutes is a long time. But Izanagi, whenever it's used, will pretty much make the Mangekyo Sharingan that he used for that ability to basically uh it becomes blind, which obviously would make sense because it's a really OP ability to use. Um, the last thing I forgot to mention was he can also use Kamui to teleport himself away from other people. But for the sake of the fight, he's obviously not gonna do that. So yeah, I just ran through Obito and Nagato's abilities. So now it's time for the final verdict of who I think would win the fight. Now, given everything I've said, um, as the final verdict, I would have to think that Nagato would win when you consider everything that he has. Well, I definitely think it'd be a close fight. The thing that you gotta remember is Obito, while he can um phase through attacks and all that, it's not like he can attack him while he's in the stage. So he has to eventually be physical and try to attack Nagato. Now, the moment he does that, Nagato could easily just repel him. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna do? And Obito, and he can't use Genjutsu on him because the Rinnegan negates Sharingan Genjutsu, which means that he's gonna have to fight him head on, and he can't use ninjutsu either because the Rinnegan absorbs ninjutsu. So that means he's gonna have to fight him at taijutsu, while Nagato isn't hindered by the Sharingan's abilities at all. And remember, because he has to fight him with taijutsu, that kind of negates the whole phase through matter and Kamu and all that. And in the series, Obito is shown that pretty much he relies on Kamui as his primary as integral to his fights. You rarely, I mean rarely, ever see him not use Kamui to fight others. Now, you could argue that he can use Izanagi, which will pretty much get him one free death. Now, obviously, he'd probably use it on his right eye, considering his left eye is what he uses to do all that stuff. But then, let's say he uses Izanagi. The only thing he could do is flee, because if he tries to come back, given Nagato's incredible sensory skills, he would see him coming. Because you gotta remember, this guy literally monitors an entire village, everyone in that village, using rain. So you can't tell me that what I'm saying right now is unrealistic. Now, now, this goes to show you just how OP the Renegon truly is. So, yeah, that was my video for today. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below who you think you would win. Maybe we can have a discussion in the comments. Share this video with anyone that likes Naruto. Uh, just remember to have a good